Another year, another E3 that has passed. Another year, another disappointment that has come and gone. Another year, another day that passes with me still neglecting opening up this old ass guacamole because I'm really just afraid of opening it up. I just feel I'm gonna die. I don't know. I'm kind of afraid of responsibilities. But here we are, the post E3 therapy session. How are y'all doing? Have you done enough crying today already? It's okay. It's okay. It's not just games. I understand. It's a lifestyle. After a year of no E3, I feel people's expectations were at an all-time high. Many expected the disease-riddled couple of years would give game companies some much-needed time to focus solely on game development. What? Rest? What do game devs think they are? Human beings? Nah. Anyway, these expectations were, well, somewhat met. If you completely ignore Square Enix's presentation, of course. On the first day of E3, we had Summer Games Fest, which isn't a part of E3, but yet they shared ownership over some conferences. I feel like Summer Games Fest and E3 is just like how everybody thinks that Ben & Jerry's and Klondike bars are competitors, yet they're owned by the same company. So who are the real losers in this equation? Us. This is why I refer to this time of the year as a mid-June week full of games. I'm still working on the trademark name, but we'll go with that. But this mid-June week started with Jeff Keighley introducing us to Summer Games Fest. I went with nothing but low expectations into Summer Games Fest, as you can tell. But we got some good announcements to say the least. And to say the least would be Death Stranding's director's cut. Because my god, that thing was terrible. What was the purpose of that whole trailer, man? We got to see Tiny Tina's Wonderland, Gearbox's latest entry to their selection of quirky games. This game leaked way ahead of this mid-June week, trademark, and is a looter shooter much like Borderlands is, but with a fantastical element to it with wizards, spells, and unicorns. I've never been too much into looter shooters, but I can see the appeal that Borderlands has, thanks to its art style and quirky writing. So this will definitely be one to look out for next year. Only if you're into unicorns. Otherwise, stay away from it. Next up, we had Metal Slug Tactics, a tactical game based on the arcade classic that I used to play and get upset at the many laundromats that have crossed my path. I just want to say, this works for some reason. This combination of Metal Slug and tactical games, it kind of works. Metal Slug is known to be a more fast-paced type of shooter, but I don't know, this just meshes well together, in my opinion. Metal Slug and tactics go hand in hand, much like my hand to the joystick of a grimy arcade machine as I wait for my second load of laundry to be done. They just work. Up next, we got the worst teaser I've ever had the pleasure of witnessing. I was never a big fan of Death Stranding because it seemed like such a boring game. I'm sorry. If Kojima is a storytelling genius, which I'm not denying he isn't, because he's not. He's a great storyteller. He should just straight up produce a movie. He should just do movies, man. Like, not make me simulate walking and delivering packages. I'm already lazy in real life. I don't feel like walking around being an Amazon driver, you know? And that's my review of Death Stranding, even though I haven't played it. Kojima premiered Death Stranding Director's Cut and also took a jab at Metal Gear Solid fans by having Norman Reedus get into a box like a cat. And that was the announcement. The creativity. It was pretty ridiculous of a reveal, but it is Kojima after all. Besides that, we didn't get any other major announcements during this first day of Summer Games Fest. And if you know anything about screenwriting, you would know that this is very clearly a setup to trick you, the viewer, when I introduce what we call in the business a twist. Because that wasn't all for Summer Games Fest. M. Night Shyamalan ain't got shit on me. We finally got a release for Elden Ring, and I'm here for it. Is something I would say if I was actually good at Souls games. See? M. Night Shyamalan, not to my level. Souls games have a dedicated fan base, so when Elden Ring was announced at the end of Summer Games Fest opening day, the internet went berserk. I'm just happy that George R. R. Martin finally finished something. Finally. All right, now that we got the great value E3 out of the way, how about we actually talk E3? On the first day of E3, we had Ubisoft proving once again why their games continue to crash and burn faster than a drone in Watch Dogs Legion. We all know Ubisoft games and their formula being recycled time and time again. I went with extremely low expectations into this conference. However, even before E3 began, Nintendo swooped in and saved/messed up Ubisoft's presentation because they were the ones who leaked their collaboration with Ubisoft. Yes, we're getting a sequel to the Mario plus Rabbids game, and to be honest, this was the biggest announcement from Ubisoft's presentation. If I'm trying to summarize this whole thing, you can say Nintendo won this E3 already, and it hasn't even begun. I'm kidding, of course. Limited Run Games did. They did a great job. Their presentation was ace. Mario plus Rabbids: A Spark of Hope looks like such a great game. The first one, although I'm not a big fan of tactical games, was still a great game, and this next iteration looks like it's gonna be a banger of a sequel. We got a short CGI trailer which looks amazing. I just hope that the Mario movie looks this good. We also got a little bit of gameplay which revived the never-ending Switch Pro theories. If you think a game can't look this good on a base Nintendo Switch, then you clearly haven't played Luigi's Mansion 3. Besides this, we got the classics from Ubisoft. Updates to Valhalla, which is getting added expansions in its second year, making it a first for an Assassin's game. We got yet another look at Far Cry 6, which I won't comment on because I feel like we've all played this game already. A closer look at Riders Republic, which is an extreme sports MMO that I am moderately excited for, being such a huge fan of arcade sports games like Tony Hawk and SSX Tricky. We got a reveal of the spin-off Rainbow Six Siege Extraction, which funnily enough was called Quarantine like a year ago or something. I wish I could get into Rainbow Six Siege. All I hear are great things from the game, and it seems like it's one of the few Ubisoft games that people enjoy thoroughly and consistently. We got a look into Rocksmith Plus, which is Ubisoft's new instrument learning subscription service, which implements some rather interesting technology to increase its accessibility. And to top off the presentation in Ubisoft fashion, they closed it off by announcing something nobody asked for: an Avatar game. Of all things, an Avatar game. Ubisoft announced the newest entry into the only franchise that makes me wonder on a daily basis. Why is this 2009 movie still relevant? Somebody tell me why. Honestly, it wasn't even that good. All in all, I give Ubisoft a 1, 2, 3. I give Ubisoft a 3 ornamental schools out of 5 because it wasn't the best presentation, to be honest. But one thing I will give them is that they indeed announce new games, unlike some companies that we'll discuss further down the line. Don't worry about them. By the way, I love these things. I collect skulls if you didn't know. Next up, we have Gearbox, the developer behind classic games such as the Borderlands series. I said classic, not adored by me, so don't go around associating me with this game. We got Godfall announced to be coming to last gen consoles. Yay, I guess. I mean, yeah, I understand the appeal of cross-gen games nowadays. With scalpers, chip shortages, and bots, it's no wonder companies are still making a push to create games for last-gen consoles. Actual fans aren't buying these new consoles given their limited availability. Thus, companies aren't getting any software sales on these next-gen consoles because 1,000 PS5s are being held up in a loser's basement. So yeah, there's no money being made out of those consoles. But whatever, it's just Godfall. Nobody cares about that game. Gearbox then took us behind the scenes of the Borderlands movie and then proceeded to have the most awkward conversation with one Kevin Hart. Whatever the reason was behind this decision beats me. It was an awkward conversation, man. I guess announcing they're hard at work on a Borderlands movie is reason enough, but I don't know, man. If video game movies have shown me anything, is that they completely suck, man. However, Gearbox's huge announcement was definitely their new game, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is a Borderlands spin-off. I gotta say, I'm moderately excited about this one. All in all, Gearbox, I give them 2 ornamental skulls out of 5. 2 because I couldn't care less about Gearbox, but at least they did show some games. On day 2 of the only expo that asks you to register for their event, even though all the presentations will be live streamed to YouTube, seriously, like, why did we even have to sign up? What was the whole reason behind that? Except stealing our data, probably. We got the long-awaited Xbox presentation. Everybody had high hopes for Xbox. Ever since last year and their disastrous showing of Halo Infinite and its unavoidable delay, people were expecting to see great things from Xbox after a year of basically radio silence. With the most powerful console on the market, it was obvious why people wanted to see the classics in this presentation. People wanted exclusives more than anything, and oh boy did Xbox finally deliver. First up in Xbox's presentations was its most recent acquisition, Todd Howard. And in true E3 fashion, the first announcement was a leaked game. We finally got to see a first look at Starfield, Bethesda's next open world RPG which takes place in space. Surprisingly to no one, all we got was a pretty CGI trailer, but we did however get a release date for November 11th of 2022. This date plays homage to Skyrim's release date of 11/11/11. Jesus, am I that old? I still remember when Skyrim released. That's crazy. After that, we got what we've all been asking for. A trailer for a game that's not CGI, but instead of 5-minute long gameplay trailer of nothing but a cutscene. Oh god, man. I swear to god, I'm going crazy like following these video game companies and their announcements. Don't know what the developers were thinking, but they were thinking alright. The game does look very good visually and is very interesting, but I just can't get behind first-person shooters anymore. Not unless you're Battlefield 2042, because holy shit, this game looks insane. I mean, Jesus Christ. I was a big fan of Battlefield based solely on its wild matches that are well unmatched to this day by even Warzone. I don't know, it was always a very fun, special kind of chaos playing Battlefield. And Battlefield 2042 takes that chaos and raises it to the 20th degree. With the inclusion of storms, yes, literal tornadoes on the map, I gotta say this was my second favorite showing from the Xbox presentation. We also got a first look at Contraband, which, can I just ask, what the hell is this game about? I couldn't tell you because I muted it as it was just a CGI trailer with Steely Dan music. Seriously. I love Steely Dan, but why are you playing this when you know millions of people are co-streaming this damn presentation? One thing is for certain though, if CGI trailers could be currency, Xbox would be a multi-billion-dollar company. Oh wait. Other notable mentions from the Xbox presentation were Microsoft Flight Simulator finally coming to Xbox Series X and S, A Plague Tale Requiem replaced, which stole everybody's attention, Forza Horizon 5, which to me has some of the most beautiful graphics I've ever seen, like seriously, holy shit. They would show a shot of beautiful scenery and say, our team took some high quality video of some scenery so we could use it as a foundation for the world. And then blam. You find out that what you're watching is in-game's graphics. Just completely mind-boggling. I think the choice of Mexico as a setting is a welcome one because, well, I'm Mexican as fuck. But I'll say I'm excited for people to finally see that there's more to my country than tacos and a sepia tone. We apparently also have random piñatas that you can destroy on the street. I don't know how to feel about that yet. But the main attraction to this presentation was Halo Infinite. Finally, after almost a year since its delay, we got a deeper look at this long-awaited game. We got to see a story trailer, which can I just say how wild Cortana's facial expressions are? Seriously, if anything is next gen, it's Cortana's face. Just beautiful, just majestic. We got confirmation that Halo's multiplayer will be free and that, well, it looks pretty fucking insane. This was my favorite part of the whole presentation. Halo is iconic, which goes without saying, but seeing just how fun multiplayer looks and how much it reminded me of classic Halo makes me appreciate Microsoft delaying this game. And that was pretty much it from Xbox. Oh, I guess we got another CGI trailer of yet another squad shooter. Again, multi-billion-dollar company sitting atop a throne of CGI trailers. just like any other E3. Xbox and Bethesda have something pretty nice going on, and this presentation made the mesh of them both something very seamless. So I give this presentation 3 3/4 of ornamental skulls. You I don't know, I'm not gonna break it. Just know that I'm giving it a 3.75. Xbox and Bethesda had great showings of some of their exclusive titles, and it's what Xbox has been missing: exclusives. As much as we hated, exclusives drives competition, and competition drives innovation, which only makes it better for us, the gamers. But I didn't give them a full 4 schools for the sole reason that Xbox refuses to accept that we do not care about CGI trailers at all. I said what I said. This same day, we also got Square Enix Presents, and well, let me just say straight up that I give this presentation barely 1 skull. I barely give it 1 skull. I know, but when half of your presentation is a marble game, I can't give you more than 1 skull. I'm already being generous. Seriously, I was so disappointed in this presentation for a multitude of reasons. First off, we got to see a new Marvel game from the developer that probably least deserves the license. We got to see the Guardians of the Galaxy's new game, which looks pretty alright. I don't know. It's a single-player third-person shooter mixed in with some decision-based storytelling. It's a Marvel game from Square Enix, so I'm going with extremely low expectations into this game. After this, all we got was disappointment. We got information on a new expansion to Marvel's Avengers, which its only saving grace is that we'll be able to play as Black Panther now. We got the great news that we'll be getting the first 6 Final Fantasy games remastered. Oh, sorry, this would have been actually great news if we got these for consoles. No. We're getting them for mobile phones and Steam. You know what console would work great for these types of games? These type of old SNES, NES games? The Nintendo Switch. Jeez, man. Oh, but hold on. Not the worst announcement just yet. No. Square Enix delivered terrible shit. And I'm about to say it right now. We got Babylon's Fall, a new hack and slash action game from the same developers from Nier Automata, which is a great game. Babylon's Fall looks exactly like not that. It doesn't look great. This game looks so rough and a little bland. And I'm a little disappointed given that Platinum Games are great developers, which leads me to believe that the reason this looks so rough was some executive bullshit. And to top it all off, we got a first look at Stranger of Paradise, a Final Fantasy origin, which is basically the beginning of the Final Fantasy series. Look, the game looks rough as hell. And even their demo that dropped the same day didn't even work on the PS5. Like, talk about a release. Just an overall worse than average presentation from Square Enix. Yes, a little disappointed given that Final Fantasy VII Remake has been one of my favorite games of last year, but it is what it is. On day 3, we got a myriad of weird presentations from companies such as Verizon and Television and a Take-Two interactive panel, but everybody's eyes were on Capcom. Capcom has been killing it for the past couple of years with their Resident Evil remakes, the new Resident Evil Village, Monster Hunter Rise, and amongst many other great games. But again, if I could use 2 words to describe this E3, they would be very and disappointing. To summarize this presentation, we're getting a new great Ace Attorney game, which they spent entirely too long talking about. We got a deeper look into Monster Hunter Stories 2, which would be their 5th update on this game. Like, at this point, just release the damn game. I'm still gonna buy it day 1 because it looks like a better Pokemon game than Pokemon. I'm gonna get hate for that, but I don't care. We got a Monster Hunter Rise update and the announcement that they're working on new stuff coming to Resident Evil Village, but without showing us. No. They're just telling us that they're working as if we're their manager and Capcom is lying about how productive they are. Just this Capcom presentation, short and sweet. Much like this ornamental school out of 5. Here, hold it. take it, because you're only getting one. I don't care, Capcom. And finally, on the final day of E3, once again, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, two-time champion in a row, Nintendo came and served some fucking looks, okay? I swear, the ESA needs to pay Nintendo at this point. Nintendo started out their direct presentation with a first look at a new Smash character, which has been non-stop talk in the Smash Ultimate community and has been outing a bunch of Smash players as not actually knowing what the fuck is a fighting game. What do you mean, what is Tekken? What do you mean Tekken isn't as influential? What are you talking about, bro? Have you ever played a fighting game? I swear to God, man, y'all go on Twitter and just show your ass. Kazuya from Tekken has joined the roster for Smash. Emphasis on join and not invited, because this fool straight up just showed up and threw Ganondorf's corpse into a fucking volcano. I love when Smash introduces villains to their roster. It's just, the introductions are so legendary. We got an announcement that Life is Strange Remastered Collection is coming to the Switch. We got Worms 2D. We got Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, which completely caught me off guard. Like, seriously, Nintendo has to stop introducing non-Nintendo franchises with bananas. I straight up thought we were getting a new Donkey Kong game. Like, please Nintendo, just give me Donkey Kong 64 too. That's all I want. Just another 3D Donkey Kong game. We got a new Mario Party game. You heard that right. A new Mario Party game. As if the last one didn't just need a huge update. Yes, this new Mario Party game is called Mario Party Superstars, a collection of some of the most classic Mario Party games with some of the N64 boards included. Would you look at that? A Mario Party game with boards. Sheesh. What a sight to behold. Some damn character and charm to my Mario Party game is what I wanted like 2 years ago. And then we got what is the biggest surprise of the Direct, the famously rumored game, Metroid Dread, a game that's been 19 years in the making. This game first got announced way back in the mid-2000s and kinda just disappeared into the grips of time. But we finally got confirmation that the 5th Metroid game is finally releasing this October. And it's already turning out to be the most successful Metroid game to date, and it hasn't even come out. No one saw this coming. There were rumors, of course, of a new 2D Metroid game, but no one expected that the actual Dread game would be coming out. Seriously, this game was falling into cult myth space. I'm super excited for this one that I pre-ordered instantly. Now, getting the special edition is a whole different issue I refuse to get into. But fuck you if you're a scalper, is all I'm gonna say. We got a look at Mario Golf Super Rush, which I'm sure already released before this video even goes up. We got yet another look at Monster Hunter Stories 2. We got confirmation that we're getting a demo, which I'm probably already playing as you're watching this video. We got another super unexpected announcement. WarioWare, Get It Together, which honestly caught me by surprise. I always heard great things about this series, and I can't wait to tweeze armpit hair out of a cartoon man. Like, seriously, I've never looked forward to anything before in my life as much as this. We got another closer look at this weeb-ass game. Oh no, I'm not talking about Shin Megami Tensei 5. No. I'm talking about this other weeb-ass game. Danganronpa, I can't even say the damn name. Danganronpa Decadence. I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of this game, which is a collection of 3 games which adds its own Mario Party style game. I don't know, man. I said Nintendo saved what is the most mediocre E3 to date. I didn't say they saved the best E3 to date. We got another look at the new Fatal Frame, which I guess is cool. A lot of people have said this game is very scary and actually pretty good, so I'm still not gonna play it. We got a cloud version of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, which makes sense. This game looked too good on the trailer for it to be on the Switch. We're also getting Kakarot, Just Dance 2022, not for Wii, the end of an era. We got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered, and other announcements here and there. And finally, what we've all been waiting for, the culmination of Nintendo's presentation. More disappointment. My god, this whole last Zelda section seemed a little unnecessary. Look, I'm the biggest Zelda fan there is. Trust me. It's my favorite series. But the way Nintendo has handled the franchise's 35th anniversary has left me with so much to desire. Mario got the best treatment for anniversary so far, and all we got is Age of Calamity DLC, a Zelda Game & Watch, which I'm definitely getting. Yeah, I'm a hypocrite, so what? This little thing will come with the first 2 Zelda games on the NES and the Game Boy's Link's Awakening, which I've been wanting to play ever since I beat the remake. And finally, we got a second trailer for Breath of the Wild sequel. If you haven't seen my breakdown of that trailer, I'll link it up here. Believe me, I went down the Zelda rabbit hole. I was expecting a little bit more for the Breath of the Wild 2 announcement, but I guess Nintendo has been affected pretty hard by COVID. But we did get a date, sorta. We got announced that the sequel to Breath of the Wild is coming out in 2022. I just wish we would have gotten a name, but according to Nintendo, if they release the name, it might spoil the game. It doesn't make sense. Don't name your game a way that'll spoil the game. In what reality does that make sense? All in all, I gave Nintendo's presentation a 1, 2, 3, 4 ornamental schools. I can't even hold them up high. 4 ornamental schools out of 5. Why? Well, Metroid Dread, Breath of the Wild 2, WarioWare. Like, bro, classic games. Like, this is one of the best times to be a Nintendo fan, straight up. They literally announce a game and then say it'll be coming in like next month or 2 months down the line. I appreciate that. So that's why I gave them 4 out of 5, because they actually show games that are coming out this year, unlike other people. But I am happy. I am happy that E3 is back. E3 is back, baby. I'm happy for that. I'm just happy that we're getting games still in the middle of a pandemic. Believe me, shout out to game devs. You guys are heroes. You brought a lot of happiness to my life in this weird ass time, this scary ass time. And you've just brought a lot of ease, a lot of relaxation, a lot of happiness in general. So I thank you. Thank you very much for even putting together these presentations. It must have not been easy. I wouldn't blame you if they're not what you wanted them to be. But folks, you let me know what you thought of this year's E3. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it everything you hoped for? Was it worse than you hoped for? Tell me down below. And also, what are your most hype announcements for you for as far as game trailers, as far as games coming out this year or next? What are you looking forward to? Links to my socials are down below. Please make sure to follow me on Twitch, where I try and stream pretty consistently and where your help is greatly appreciated. Also follow me on Twitter, where I scream into the void that is social media and where I spend most of my waking hours on. Seriously, I got an addiction to Twitter, man. It's pretty sad, but I don't know, it's pretty fun too. Also, please make sure to join our Discord, where we talk anything and everything gaming, and well, anything that might interest you as my viewer. As well, I do a weekly podcast. I didn't do it last week because I didn't feel like there was a lot to talk about. E3 had just happened, so I said, let me just make this video. I'm just going to summarize this whole video instead of doing the podcast. But we do a weekly podcast that it mostly talks about gaming news more than anything. Actually, that's all we talk about. But you can listen to us on the go. Just search for Search and Report on Spotify. Our logo is a little Game Boy, which you sure won't miss because there's not a lot of podcasts out there called Search and Report with a Game Boy for a logo. Alternatively, you can watch the video version on my channel, which is this channel that you're watching this video on right now. So please make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for all the support. I've been getting a lot of views recently, and I love that. I don't know what the algorithm is doing, but keep on doing it, baby. I've been True Fernie. Please take care of each other, but most importantly, take care of yourself. E3, I'm so glad you're back. Peace.